up, everybody? We are live from the Commerce Casino for UNF, the 13th, and standing with me right now is Cisco Rivera. Now, Cisco is going to be fighting on the December 2nd card. Cisco, tell us about what's going down December 2nd.
December 2nd, I'm fighting Jesse Strader for the featherweight title, so it's going to be good. He's a former UFC fighter also. I'm a former UFC fighter. He likes to bang, I like to bang, I like to scrap, so it's going to be a great fight.
What are you expecting from this fight?
I expect another win on my behalf. I'm looking for a knockout. Always looking for a finish, so I should come up on top.
How are you preparing and how confident do you feel defending the title?
Every fight, I feel confident. Every fight, I'm going in there to win, to kill, and this fight is just another fight in my to grab another belt.
Now, we are about maybe halfway right now with the card for UNF the 13th. What has been a match or a fighter that has stood out to you, or anybody that you're out here rooting for in particular, or maybe just keeping your eye out on?
Looking at all these amateur guys, all the amateur fighters, they're great. You know, I remember being an amateur fighter starting up. It takes a lot of work. It's not easy to become a pro fighter. So if you can get through the amateur stage, then you're ready for the pros. And I think that's a great accomplishment to fight amateur and then go pro.
What's the biggest advice that you can give to somebody who's trying to get from the amateurs over to the pro side?
Don't rush. Take your time. Just because you lost one fight doesn't mean you got to go fight right away the next month. Take your time. Stay in the gym. I didn't have my first pro fight till I was about 30, 29, 30 before I went pro, and then that took longer. I took my time. I didn't rush it.
How do you know that you're ready? How do you know when you're ready?
I think it's more of your team. I think your team and coaches will tell you you're ready. They'll know. They'll tell you when you're ready. Listen to your coaches and your teammates, and they'll let you know.
Now, Cisco, I do want to ask you, because we're almost rounding out this year, what are some of the biggest things, some of the biggest moments that stood out from your career this year?
This year, winning the bantamweight belt was my biggest accomplishment. I think I've always dreamed of having a belt, and being able to win my first belt was a great, great step in my career. Yeah, fighting the UFC, having 11 fights in the UFC is also great, but I never got a chance to fight for a title, so this belt meant a lot to me.
When you look back at your 11 fights in the UFC, what do you think about your time there?
It was great experience. It's something that's hard to explain to anybody, that especially fighters that have never been there. To be there and stay there for 11 fights is really hard to do. You know, most fighters in the UFC last 4, 5, 6 fights, but 11 fights, that's a long time. So, you know, that's why a lot of people call me OG, and I'm still fighting, so it's a good thing.
That's something to be proud of, man. 11 fights in the UFC. You got some gold around you right now. You're killing it. Cisco Rivera, I cannot wait to see you on the December 2nd card. Catch you next time, everybody.